You can sell anything, sell that. Go ahead. Sell me that pen.
Okay, look, man, look. Here's the deal, okay? Give me the name of one person.
Hey, John, thank you for your vote of confidence, and welcome to the Investors Center.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Bye-bye.
Learning how to sell something is one of the greatest skills you could obtain. Many people, even ones who work in sales, have a difficult time learning this objective. To understand the sales field, you must first understand money. Do you feel like you are thinking about money correctly? If not, you will never make a sale. You won't gain the stamina you need to push through the barriers and inconveniences. The field of sales is a tough, often disappointing career choice. It's comparable to an acting career in that you could go to 200 auditions and never be picked for a role. However, the true test is if you continue to show up at auditions after all your previous failures. Peter Thiel, American billionaire and the co-founder of PayPal, once infamously said that being a millionaire who is still in the single digits should not be the dream goal. He explained that having under $10 million won't allow you to provide your family with proper legal defense, such as divorces and major business lawsuits. He added that the single-digit millionaire will have issues maintaining a comfortable lifestyle while getting his children through college. People were fairly upset at his comments. It came across as insensitive and arrogant to anyone beneath his tax bracket. But today, we will analyze his ideas further than surface level and truly understand what he meant. Many people feel $1 million is the goal. When they look at money, they see that exact amount as the perfect amount. Grant Cardone, an American author and owner of a real estate empire, once said, "$1 million is not money. This is just dumbness. This is you not making a decision. This is you being lazy." People spend their time calculating how they will get $1 million. That's it. That's all they feel they need. That is their only goal. They are desperate for that first million. Let's play around with this idea a bit to see how valuable $1 million actually is within real terms. Let's say you got $1 million by the time you're 27. Congratulations, you've achieved your goal. Maybe you even achieved it fairly early. But let's do the math here. Even if you lived within your means, didn't spend money on any luxuries, and allowed yourself only $4,000 a month, by the time you are 52, you will be completely broke. Nothing left. People will think you're wealthy because you are technically a millionaire. But that isn't wealth. That's instability. Let's make matters more difficult and say there's an emergency. You or someone in your family got into a car accident. You have medical expenses, repair payments. What about if you want kids? How will you pay for all their necessities? What if they want to go to college? Another thing to consider is that the equation mentioned doesn't assume any inflation or other problems with the economy. It doesn't assume that your rent payments or car payments or insurance may go up. This is why you have to change the way you think about money. Don't focus on fantasy money anymore. You don't want this fantasy money. You want real money. The problem is that no one is talking about real money. No one wants to publicly admit that even millionaires are still middle-class people, just as worried about money as everyone else. However, that is the sad reality. There's an idea called the 10 times concept. What if you took $10 million and no new income and made that your new goal? You may be able to live the life you wanted to. So let's calculate that. If your goal was the original $1 million, you could make that in 25 years, making $40,000 a year. But if you raised your standards and yourself and said, "I don't want to reach my goal in 25 years. I want to live comfortably sooner. I want to live with freedom sooner. I want to live without worry sooner," then your new goal should be $10 million, and this should be divided by 10, the 10 representing the 10 years, as opposed to 25 years that you now are giving yourself to reach this new goal. After doing the math, that equals $1 million per year. That's a much bigger jump from the original target. And if you hadn't done that math, then you'd be working with the intention of making a measly $40K a year and never extending yourself more than that. Eventually, you would find yourself at 52, in debt, broke, and worried about your family's future. Take your eyes off the flashiness of wealth. Your target shouldn't be a new car, that luxury vacation, or the fancy watch. Your aim is freedom. Freedom from worrying and instability. 67% of wealthy people surveyed said their goal in working was exactly this. The modern man doesn't want to be concerned about money. He wants to focus on his marriage, his relationship with his kids, his health, and his happiness. This is the first step. Choosing your target, identifying what you want, what your intention is, how much you need, and why. The second step is getting your income in order. The main priority of your income shouldn't be paying your bills, it should be saving. Grant Cardone says that 40% of your gross income should be going into savings. Sit down and do the math, then ask yourself, what all will it take for 40% of what I make to be going into savings? Let's say you make $10,000 a month, and the IRS takes 40% of it, which is $4,000, and you also want to save $4,000 of it. Now you are left with $2,000, and that's what you are going to live on, because saving that money is far more important than living luxuriously for the time being. However, even though it's the goal percentage for saving, living on only $2,000 a month doesn't last. For some, it's even impossible. You will begin to see that you should be making $20,000 or $30,000 a month in order to reach the saving percentage goal. That's real money, not fantasy money, and that is the second step. Going back to what Peter Thiel was saying, it's clear now he wasn't being insulting, but rather helpful. Making $1 million in your lifetime is not nearly enough, and certainly shouldn't be the ideal. Working to get to $1 million will only slow you down. Don't let this fantasy number become your motivation. People often confuse saving money with stockpiling money. Stockpiling money isn't the same thing as saving money, because money is worthless unless you use it. You can trust the value of money. The economy is shaky and money is lost constantly. So what do you do with the money you save? You invest it. That is the third step. Keep your money active. Keep it moving. If you train it right, your money will work for you. The goal of investing is to get the money that your saved money is making to be equal to your new income. This is the fourth step. That means you will have dual finance sources. One from your regular income and one from investing. And they will compete with each other and continuously battle it out to be the biggest source of income. Neither should be exponentially more profitable than the other. Never use your money to invest in something that is a maybe. Warren Buffett is quoted saying that the 3 rules are: number 1, don't lose money; number 2, don't lose money; and number 3, don't lose money. Leaving money in the bank is losing money. Investing in something risky is losing money. Investing doesn't just mean stocks. It could mean real estate, a business that you own, a side business, anything that will produce more money. The first income you have is for your basic needs. This is for living, eating, transportation, fees, and the IRS. The second source of income, that 40% being saved and invested, is where you will be acquiring wealth, how you will achieve your target. Make sure when you are investing that 40% that is in something you know about. Don't invest in what you aren't educated in. For example, real estate is on the safer side of investing because you know a building with an address will most likely be there 20 years from now. The reason that first step of determining a target is so important is because without the first step, the entire plan falls through. Maybe you are unable to keep that target in mind. Perhaps you lose hope and slowly forget about it. Now you are back with the rest of the population, worried about money, unable to set their eyes on the prize. This brings us to our fifth step, which is simply to become great at both of your sources of income. Whatever you are doing for your main source, do it in the best way possible. Come into work with a plan of how you will become the best at your job, perhaps better than anyone else in that room. With your second source of income, educate yourself on the ins and outs of whatever field you're investing in. Knowledge is power, especially the use of that knowledge. Another powerful trait is bravery, not being terrified of hard work or of failure. Keep rehearsing these 5 steps. Repeat them in your head every morning. Don't drift away from them. Sure, there may be unexpected expenses or job losses, and you may not fully reach your goals for that month or even year. But there's a difference between stumbling on a hurdle and completely giving up. To summarize, number 1, determine your goal. This should not be below $10 million. You need at least $10 million in your lifetime to live comfortably and gain that freedom. Focus on the idea of freedom from financial worry. Let that motivate you. Number 2, train your income. Plan out each expense. Analyze every paycheck and payment. Do the math of how much you will be saving and try to make it 40% of your main source of income. Don't buy things you don't need. Don't waste your money. The third step is investing that extra income into profitable, stable things. Roth IRA, steady stocks, and real estate are good options for this step. The fourth step is to eventually make just as much money from investing that you are making from the first income source. This is where that fifth step comes in, the power of knowledge and work ethic. Don't just work hard, but work smart and keep your mind on the original target no matter what obstacles are placed in front of you. These are the 5 steps towards becoming not just a millionaire, but to finally become free.